All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the FusionCast. I'm your host, Fusion64, and along with me, even though he's slightly late,
I know what you're talking about, man. I was here the whole day.
Rebel Blood 80. You were here the whole day, but you dipped out for a little while.
You cannot prove that.
Oh, I can prove it.
You do not have. You do not have.
In this job economy, you do not want to be late because you could get fired, like a lot
All
of
right.
other people.
Fair point.
Yeah,
Touche.
right? Oh man, we had some bad news happen this week. What do you think? Was it?
I think no. I think the overall amount was bad news, but you gotta confirm with me here and say agree with me here. With some of this
no,
was
I
to
don't.
be expected, right?
I really don't have to confirm.
Well,
I
no.
don't have to confirm or agree with anything you say.
Some of it was to be expected, right? Because
Yeah,
there was going to
totally,
be
right.
redundant jobs,
Right, totally.
but almost 2,000 people.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And I mean, it wasn't just the redundant jobs either, though.
No, yeah, that's the problem here.
So for anybody catching up, Microsoft or Xbox laid off 1,900 people. You know, the same day they, in the stock market, they were evaluated as the first $3 trillion company.
Right below Apple or something like that,
No,
weren't
they
they?
just passed Apple, I think.
Oh, they passed Apple.
Yeah, they passed Apple for, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they just want more money.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, there was, yeah, we talked about this. You know, they had the Activision Blizzard merger, and of course they're going to have, like, you don't need two legal teams. You don't need two
PR teams,
marketing. They got rid of a bunch of community managers. But, like, you know, there was a lot of surprising stuff. Like, they canceled, what was it, do you know what the name of the game was? Their survival game?
I don't think they said what the name of it was. They just said it was a unannounced
It was a project
survival.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
and
the survival market is
kind
of oversaturated.
Well, I mean, it's funny they canceled it, and now one of the biggest game out now is a survival game. But I mean, we'll get to that later. But yeah, I mean, they axed that team. They cut a whole bunch of Call of Duty teams. Like,
that is surprising, actually, considering Call of Duty is the Activision moneymaker. To cut those teams down, are we going to be expecting less quality Call of Duties in the future?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
I think it was like 25 to 30% of Sledgehammer got let go, 40% of Toys for Bob. So your everybody's wishes, including yours, of like, yay, they bought Activision. They're gonna make all these old games. They're gonna make all their old franchises. That's out the window.
That could still happen, but
no, it's not.
I don't think it's on the
10% of BNox. Yeah. So it's not happening.
It's not a good look.
I think of what they're going to end up doing is what they do with all their other stuff. Why? Do you know what one of the big issues with Halo Infinite was, development-wise, and a lot of Xbox games is they use contractors.
And they just
and so,
kept announcing, "Oh, we hired this Rockstar developer and this Rockstar developer," even though they didn't have a proven track record of working together with these people that were coming together, and it just kind of all fell apart.
They hire the contractors because they only have like a 16, I think it's 16 months. It's either 16 or 18 that they can work, and then they have to let them go because then they would have to pay them benefits.
Yeah,
so it's kind of scummy.
Shady.
But that's how they do a lot of their stuff, and this was even talked about by developers on Halo Infinite. Is that like you'd get games don't take 18 months to make, they take years to make. So you'd get these contractors in, and then their time is up. Bring new contractors in, then they've got to get up to speed on everything, and so that's probably what they're going to end up doing. Is they got rid of a lot of people on these teams, and they're going to hire contractors to. I said it in a Discord earlier. It's the two C's: contractors and crunch, is what they're going to be doing.
This is another bad move by Microsoft.
And
Another terrible move for the gaming industry.
yeah,
Not all of it, because like we said, there was
right.
some redundant jobs that they had to get rid of.
Yeah. But like, and then supposedly they got rid of like their whole Xbox's whole team that brings physical games uh to market. Basically, I gotta go back and look at the exact quote from Jez Corden here, but that is a bad look.
It is, and it's not. It's another mark of shame on Xbox for their loyal fans, for the Xbots.
Right, and
people are going to stop. I mean, it's bad enough that we have people defending all of these companies, right? Whether it's Nintendo, Sony, or Xbox, you should never defend a company. But it's they're going to lose the people defending them currently.
yeah, so he put multiple sources tell me that Microsoft is laying off the entire internal customer support teams for ABK games, save a few. Microsoft will outsource the rest to external companies abroad. So they're getting rid of their internal customer support teams for Activision Blizzard, the people that live here, that work here, and they're going to outsource it to
third world countries.
Yes.
You could say it.
Yeah, well, other countries. So,
people that will get paid pennies on the dollar that they were paying the people working here.
So, as people from the U.S., what's the most frustrating thing when you call one of these companies to get something resolved? Is when you can't understand them or whatever, because their English isn't their first language, and so yeah, they're getting rid of jobs from people here so they can save money and just outsource that shit to other countries. That's disgusting. That was the one thing that kind of like pissed me off.
Yeah, it is disgusting, especially when they're showing record profits and stuff like that. To do that, they just come off as being fucking evil.
Yeah, this is why people hate Microsoft and in turn like Xbox, because they're Microsoft.
Yeah,
it's stuff
but
like
Sony,
stuff like that.
It's big corporation shit,
big
right? Sony could turn around and do the same thing. Nobody is safe from this.
No, but I'm just saying, particularly this is like this type of stuff that historically Microsoft has done as a company with other areas of their business.
Yeah, they're just in it for the profits, not for the gamers.
And they also. So Microsoft has also shut down departments dedicated to bringing Xbox games to physical retail. So
yeah, that's kind of been.
That's where they're This seems like a lot of like what did I talk about when we were talking about the third party stuff? Is that like once they made that purchase of Activision Blizzard, them being like the little side piece that they didn't really care about. It's over here. It's not that big of a deal. Now like the spotlight is on them, and so like they've got to start acting and cutting redundancies and cutting money here, cutting money there, and that's why they're going to be bringing these there's games to other consoles. This is why they're doing stuff. They're forcing people to be digital so they can make more money, which they think they will, I guess. But
we've been saying it. Both of us have been saying it for a while that the company is Microsoft, right? The company's not Xbox.
Well, it was. I think it was when it was like last gen, when it was the smaller. Nobody at Microsoft really cared about Xbox,
right?
But it was Xbox, and now that they spent all of this money, Xbox is now Microsoft because they have to answer now to the shareholders and to like the CEO and CFO, and the money has to make sense now because they've spent $90 billion in the past 3 or 4 years.
But Xbox would never make enough money for Microsoft, even if they were putting up the numbers that Sony did or Nintendo did. That would never be enough money for Microsoft. So I think Xbox would still be in the same predicament it is now, even if they were the market leader.
Well, they're gonna start cutting corners and pinching pennies in order to make the money they want. And you could be damn sure that they're gonna be one of the first big publishers to, push the AI boundary to test it.
Yeah, which is why I'm never going to buy another game on Xbox I'll buy an Xbox game, but I won't buy it on my Xbox. Does
Right.
that make sense?
No, yeah, you'll buy it on PC or other places.
Right. Or
Yeah.
PlayStation. Yeah, I'll buy the
Right.
Xbox games on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because this is ridiculous, and it does not warrant anyone's support, really. Even the most diehard Xbox fan should not be supporting them after everything that's gone down this year, from them announcing going multi-platform to these layoffs to the drop in quality. Like it's a huge shit show, and they just keep dumping on themselves.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the fear with the getting Call of Duty is that like that's a machine that requires a ton of people, and like they're cutting all these developers from these Call of Duty studios, and they've got to make Call of Duty for more platforms because they promised that, and they signed those contracts. It's got to come to Switch. It's got to go to GeForce Now. It's so there's not less work that has to go into Call of Duty. There's more work, and they're reducing the people. There's
Well, you
only
said
one
it. They're
thing.
gonna
They're gonna have to.
they're gonna do the contract.
Contract,
and then quality's gonna suffer.
Yeah. I mean, I think this one actually is supposed to be pretty good. The one coming this year, because that it's been in development for I think for like 3 or 4 years maybe.
Who's headlining this one? Is it Infinity?
I think it's Treyarch. I don't remember. I forget which one it was.
Because generally
Sledgehammer was the one that just went. I think.
Yeah, they're usually the weakest link. I think, in my opinion,
they're the one that just. So it's either Infinity or Treyarch, but who knows? And I think they got rid of a bunch of QA people, like a ton of QA people.
Well, they're going to have AI
artists.
Do it, remember?
Yeah, right. Artists. Like there's a ton of Blizzard artists. They got rid of people from the Diablo team.
Well, that makes sense because Diablo sucks.
And Mikey Barr, do you know who Mikey Barr is?
Yeah, he left.
Yeah, he
Blizzard.
left. Yeah, he
just sees the writing on the wall.
Well, he just recently said that he was staying there for life or whatever, and now he just left. So he's So I think he was more that he was like. I think it was more of like we're gonna we're not gonna fire you, but you're gonna resign, one of those things. Since he was a former Microsoft employee.
That could be, or he could just see the writing on the wall of how big of a shit show that Microsoft is going to become after doing all this.
Yeah.
AI is not going to fix Microsoft's problems.
Yeah, man, they're going full force into it. I think that like.
Well, yeah, they're one of the major players in the AI market right now. So, of course they are.
Yeah,
and of course they're going to push that through the Xbox division.
Right. Of course, yeah. I mean, that's how they want to make their money is AI, and a lot of this art's going to be assets are going to be made in AI. There's going to be a ton of stuff that you're going to use AI for, I believe.
And I'm not a fan of Phil. I was at one point back when he was doing the backwards compatibility stuff on the Xbox One because that was cool. That was as far as I would say I like him, but I think he's being cucked right now, and he's just being told. Just sit in your place and do as we say, because he's not talking like
he's ahead not talking at all, really.
Yeah, he's not acting like the boss of Xbox.
No.
He doesn't sound like he's coming from a position of power, and it just shows you that Xbox gamers our days probably are done.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
which just is terrible because it's just going to destroy.
Less competition.
Yeah.
I don't like the all digital future. I'm telling you, it's like these companies are going to. There's going to be less sales. There's going to be less. There's less of a reason to put games on sale when it's all digital. There's one storefront. If you can only get your games on this storefront, why are we going to put have these great sales?
Well, remember when they first talked about going digital? Making digital sales alongside of physicals, the digital copies were supposed to be cheaper because they didn't have, but that never happened.
No.
It happened on PC, but it never happened for the consoles because these companies are greedy as fuck.
Yeah.
Which just got me to thinking when Sony increased their prices last year for their games, and everyone was like, "Oh, they need it for all the extra money that it costs to make games now." And I was buying movies the other day, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm paying the same amount for a movie today as I was paying for it way back in fucking 2010, and movies cost more to make now. This shit's not making sense to me. These companies are just greedy as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're
that's my
selling a lot.
rant.
They're selling a lot more copies than they used to.
Yeah, I brought that up to you before.
Yeah.
Video games used to sell 100,000 copies, baby. Now they're
Right.
selling millions for the same price. The math isn't adding up.
I remember I was listening to David Jaffe a few weeks ago, and he was saying how, like, when they made Twisted Metal, they said they would be thrilled if they sold like 100,000 copies, and they ended up selling like a couple million, the first one.
Yeah, and became instant rock stars because of it.
Yeah.
But people never talk about that stuff.
No.
People defend Sony, saying, "Oh yeah, you know they walk that console line, saying, oh, games cost more to make," but they never talk about how they're selling more copies than they ever have. How the gaming industry is one of the largest entertainment industries there is. I think it's surpassed movies.
Yeah.
Now, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at this from, I think it's from that Circana, which used to be NPD, in that the U.S. physical game market is, Switch makes up 51% of it, PlayStation 40 and Xbox 9. So Switch is 51, PlayStation 40, Xbox 9.
I mean, you would expect those numbers to be skewed that way because
of Game
Xbox
Pass.
has the lowest amount of consoles sold, and they have Game Pass.
Yeah.
But that is still sad.
Yeah. And then, well, I mean, yeah. A lot of, the games on disc aren't like, they're just coasters really too, so what's the point of buying the physical one, really?
That is true. You put it in, and you don't even install off the disc anymore. It all downloads off the internet.
I was did you happen to see that Hi-Fi Rush has added PS5 icons and adaptive trigger support in its latest update on Steam? And has added
No.
DualSense support?
I have not, but that Steam does that. Games on Steam do that anyways because Sony finally made PC support for the controllers viable back in the PS4 era. So that happens to a lot of games. So that's not that surprising.
So that's automatically, that's automatically done on these, or it's not like it's not from the developer, it's from Steam.
No, it's from the developers because the
okay.
developers got to program that haptic feedback into the controller and such like that. But it's done. I mean, it's indicative that it's coming to PS5.
Right.
But it happens like the Sony games on Steam have Xbox controller inputs telling you when you're playing Horizon Zero Dawn, it tells you to hit the B button to do this or the right trigger,
I would just think it's more interesting. I think it was less of an issue that way because I feel like the Xbox controller is more of a default controller for PC, whereas I think, or you would think at least.
Last gen and really this gen, because of the PS5 controller, the controller is rising in power on PC.
Gotcha.
More people are playing with that controller than ever before.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, "Yep, that seems like a sign for me
to go PC."
No, that this game is coming to PS5 soon.
Yeah, I think it will. I mean, both of us have said so.
Yeah,
that's going to, but I don't think that's indicative that it will be on PS5. Like, I don't think you could say that because that's in there on Steam that the game's automatically going to go to PS5, even though I do think the game's coming to PS5.
Yeah.
I think that's just something they included. It could be a trial run for them, actually, putting that in there.
No, I think
like, how easy is it to program for?
The floodgates are going to open soon.
Yeah, and why not?
Phil's not in charge anymore.
No. I'm disappointed.
Satya came and said, "I'm the captain now, Phil."
I'm disappointed in all the IPs that are going to start sucking. The IPs will never get to play again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that news was
rivalry.
Just really disappointing. Was just all the layoffs and stuff was really disappointing, and then it's just it's just such a bad look when you just announce like how you're the richest company in the world, and then we'll lay off 1,900 people. It's like
and Activision just laid off a bunch of people last year too, didn't they?
I'm sure. I think everybody did basically, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So it's layoffs on top of layoffs.
Right. It's just like the outsourcing that just bothers me so much. Like, we're just gonna outsource it to people, these profits aren't enough. We need to make more money, so we're going to just outsource the work to people in other countries because we don't want to pay you guys. It's just gross. But that's business in the United States for you.
Yeah. I lost a
Like,
job
it's
to outsourcing before.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a
You're
good time.
They sent my job to Mexico.
Yeah. I was not happy.
Enough of that dire news.
You got some positive news for us?
No, not really. I wanted to tackle
the Doomcast 64.
Tackle this because it was kind of like mixed in with my topic of AI about how Microsoft is going to be one of the first ones to just push AI, not all AI, but heavy AI development in their games. And I people aren't going to care if the games are good. I just look at Palworld.
That's have you ever heard of a streamer named Asmongold?
I saw his thing. Yeah, and I was.
He got a huge amount of flack because he said caring that AI is in the games, it doesn't matter because the games are going to sell anyways. Basically, I'm like paraphrasing everything he said.
No.
And people got really pissed off at him
He's
and were like, "What
truth.
about the artists?"
He's
He is, because
if
games are going to sell,
people don't care
with AI art. They're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. I mean, you just look at the Pal. Have you seen some of these the Palworld comparisons to the Pokemon?
I saw a short video of one. I'm like, how have they not been sued yet? That is like an exact copy, except for like some.
Did you see the one that
some
was
angles
like,
are different?
The eyes and the teeth were exactly the same. And one was like a cat, and the other one was a different kind of creature. But the eyes and the teeth were basically identical. I was like, oh my god! It was like they lifted.
Yeah.
It was like they cut and pasted the eyes and the teeth off of this Pokemon and put it on their other creature. And like, yeah, people just don't care. It's what is it? 8 million copies sold already.
It is the highest grossing game on Steam in a long time, I believe.
Yeah.
It's the highest, has one of the highest player counts.
Yep.
And I'm wondering if I should get this game before.
I don't think anything's gonna happen. I don't know if they've got a strong enough case to. Really
I don't think so. Maybe some of them. Maybe they'll go after individual character designs.
I think at the worst, like they would have to change some things probably on one of them, really. But it's not.
I think that's the extent we'll see it. I don't think we'll see the game delisted.
Like if this game maybe wasn't doing as well, but I know they've probably got tons of money to fight. Whatever,
well, yeah, because Nintendo could just steamroll over it if the game wasn't making any money, and we just be like,
right, yeah,
do what we say, bitch.
Now they have millions. What do they got?
Yeah.
Millions.
What people aren't talking about though, which is kind of scary, is this developer's made games in the past. I mean, people are talking about the AI game that this developer made.
They're sketchy as fuck.
They made that game called Craftworld, I believe, which they abandoned, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Which was like a clone of the Breath of the Wild Zelda.
Yeah.
But with crafting, so that like they're doing this already. Yeah, Craftopia. That's the game that they made.
And then the previous one was like a copy of like Hollow Knight or something, like I believe.
Yeah, they have another game where they copied Hollow Knight. I have no problem with that.
That's kind of where it's like, once I started hearing more about like the developer, I'm like, I feel kind of gross playing this fucking game, really, to be honest with you. Like, there's all sorts of copying and stuff in games, but like, it just feels like this is what this developer does, basically.
Yeah, I mean, more power to them for whatever they want to do. That doesn't bother me. The fact that they abandon games, that's what bothers me.
Yeah.
The fact that Craftopia is just abandonware probably pretty soon because they're not, with the success of Palworld, they're not going to go back and update Craftopia.
No.
So I think that's the bigger issue, is that they might abandon Palworld with their next big copycat hit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think
what, God of War with crafting?
I doubt they're going to abandon this. I think they're going to. Yeah, I don't think they're. I'm hoping that somebody, how like this.
I don't know, man. I don't think this game has legs.
This reminds me of like PUBG when PUBG took off, and then like Fortnite. Fortnite's the bigger company that has more resources. They were like, oh hey, we got inspiration from PUBG. And then remember PUBG sued Fortnite, and they just did it better, and then Fortnite outclassed PUBG. I would like to play like this game, but made by like a real developer that knows what they're doing.
Better developer.
Yeah, because like it's really jank, and It could use a lot more polish.
Well, it is early access
It is,
everywhere
yeah,
it
yeah,
is,
that's true.
but their previous games don't give me confidence that they're going to finish this game or polish it up even.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the point that
I'd
I'm trying to get
take the
across.
money and run.
Yeah, I mean, not as bad as that. What the fuck was that zombie survival game that came
Oh,
out last year that
we were talking.
I
We talked
already
about.
forgot its
Yeah,
name?
right.
Yeah, not as bad as that, I don't think, but I played the game a little bit. You played it?
Palworld.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had played it. We talked about it last week. I played a little bit more, but after the podcast, I started playing, and it kept crashing on me. It crashed probably like a good 6 times on me between Friday and Saturday, so I took a break from it, and I've only played a tiny bit more of it. But I forget what level I'm at. Maybe like 16, maybe, or something like that. I have the crossbow and like the steel spear. But like it's you have to go so far down before you get any guns. I actually have guns for my two pals now, so
I don't like it, I don't think.
no.
I played like 20 minutes of it, and I think the only pull to it is the Pokemon aspect.
Yeah.
Because, well, actually, it might be a better Pokemon game than the most recent Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Because
it's not really a Pokemon game, though, really. You know?
No, it's not.
It's
I mean, they all look like Pokemon, but those last 2 Pokemon games really ran like shit, right?
Yeah, right.
And this one looks better visually than those games, so maybe that's why people are drawn to it. Because
maybe
the crafting aspect of this game, I'm not enjoying one bit, and I think that's why I'm being turned off from it. I'm not a Pokemon fan.
You don't like holding the button to craft it, and then you craft one thing at a time, and it takes forever.
Well, that's fine because you're supposed to like force your Pokemons, your pals, to craft for you. So you're supposed to get it up and going that way, but even just assembling a building was just janky as fuck.
Oh, yeah, it was awful. I couldn't do any of the stuff that I wanted to do, so I made this plain building, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm not messing. I'm gonna have a little hut. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the stuff that I would craft in Grounded, Obsidian's game, this game is severely lacking in its crafting and building. Like I was trying to build a 2-story building when I was playing, and the stairs would just keep not snapping to where I wanted them to go, and they would go under the ground. And then I'm like, what the fuck? And then I was like, all right, fine, I'm gonna just make this 1 story. Do the stairs have to go outside or something like that? And I just gave up. I'm like, this is no fun.
Yeah, the crafting sucks. It's more about adventuring and like killing the pals and like or capturing them and bringing them back to putting them to work and getting materials for you and stuff. And then like getting leveled up enough to fight the bosses, which I still haven't beaten the one boss that you're supposed to beat in the tutorial.
Yeah, I just don't see the draw of this game,
but
personally.
I think I'll probably go back and play a little more. I want it to be.
I'm gonna give it another shot because I said
more polished before I do that though. Last time I played it, it was running like crap on Xbox because the game. What sucks is the Game Pass and Xbox versions are like a few versions behind Steam.
Yeah, I read that because they've got to pass Xbox cert or something like that.
Yeah, and they probably fired all their cert people.
Yeah, so there's probably a huge line ahead of Palworld to get their certs through.
Right.
Whereas they could just push it out right away on Steam. But I'm gonna give it another shot because, like I was trying to say, you got mad at me before because when I talked about this earlier, you said you can't play a game for 20 minutes and decide whether or not you like it, and you're right. What I said was I don't think I like this game. I'm gonna give it another shot, but I don't think I'm gonna change my mind on it.
Yeah, probably. I've never really been super into survival games, which I really haven't tried many of them though. To be honest with you,
wasn't until I got into Grounded.
Yeah, I've only played that but like I played that in early access too, and it's like, okay, it doesn't seem like much to do in this, and but maybe I should go back and give that game another shot.
Yeah, it's a whole different game than when you and I played it together.
Yeah.
Well, not a whole different game. I mean, they built upon what was there.
That's good. I was looking. I'm like, well, I want to play a AAA survival game or one of these, and I was thinking about Ark, and I probably will end up downloading Grounded and playing that.
Ark is another kind of shady developer that kind of just abandoned shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I never liked Ark either.
No,
Got any other news?
not really. Do you got anything?
No, the only thing I want to talk about was Palworld and that Asmongold shit that exploded
Do you,
in the past few days.
So, usually at least once a year, I make poor gaming purchases. I think last year probably my
Just
I think
once.
I think last year my poor gaming purchase of the year was the Crew Motorfest. And I knew it. I'm like, man, this game is. I like this game, but it controls awfully.
I tried to warn you.
I knew it. And then I was like, you know what? I played it for the 5 hours trial, and I'm like, I know it, and I bought it, and I hated it and deleted it. And you know what? I think we're gonna get ready to get into my poor gaming choice of the year. I think I'm gonna buy Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League.
Problem with that is I keep seeing people like Skill Up. He said he liked the game, right?
Yeah.
He liked what he played. I keep seeing that, and I'm like, I kind of trust Skill Up more than I do. Well, I'll never trust IGN or any of those places, but like, will I like this game? I don't think so. I think it might be short fun.
Yeah.
And then the
and
grind's
I really
going to
want to
set
see
in.
the story. I want to get through the story at least and see how that goes.
And then you're not going to stick around for the seasons.
The battle passes, I might just
passes. That's it.
Buy the really expensive version and be like, okay, I'm in for the long haul, and then quit after 10 hours. That always happens with the games like that have like the super duper edition that come with all the extra stuff. I think it did that for Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and I didn't even beat the main game. I'm like, oh yeah, this is Borderlands. I'm gonna love it, and it was not nearly as good Borderlands with worse weapons and abilities.
I'm sure you'll enjoy the story, but I think the game will be over quick for you.
Yeah, probably, but
and everyone. I don't want to do grinds anymore. I bought the last battle pass for Diablo.
Yeah.
Diablo 4. And I only made it like halfway through it. I'm never buying another battle pass again.
Yeah.
I'm done with battle passes. They're ridiculous. The time constraints.
And they start off really good, and then they slowly make it harder and harder to finish. And Fortnite's even been doing that too, which they always had the best bar none battle pass, like super easy to finish. You'd get 1,000 V-Bucks back, which would cost of the battle pass, and now they slowly started taking away challenges, or you'd only be able to, they'd have daily challenges, and now you can only complete one daily challenge per match, which used to be able to complete all 3 in a match. And then they started taking a lot of V-Bucks. They have your battle pass, and they have bonus tiers after 100. And so they've started to put some of those V-Bucks in the bonus tier. So now you got to get like over 100 now to get some of the V-Bucks and stuff. So they've slowly gotten worse and worse and giving out less XP for the challenges and stuff. And yeah, everything.
Battle passes do not respect your time.
No, most of them don't.
Yep. And I'm done with them. After this last one with Diablo, and I was even playing with a friend who completed the battle pass, and he was helping me along with it. And when it got to a point where like the XP I was gaining was not making an impact on the levels that I was needing to gain for the battle pass, and I was just having to kill the same stuff over and over and over again, I'm like, I'm fucking done. This is stupid. I have so many other games to play. I can't devote all this time to Diablo. Now, if the DLC comes out and it's not $100, I'll probably play that.
Oh, good luck with that.
But that's only if it doesn't come out for $100.
Right.
Stupid Blizzard.
Woof. Yeah, it was other than, the Xbox stuff, it was really a slow news week this week.
Yeah, I thought something else happened, but I can't remember. I didn't have an opportunity to write it down.
I really haven't played a lot of, other games, really. I mean, I can get into what I've been playing, which is really short, and then maybe we get out of here.
You know what? I do have a little bit of news.
Okay.
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth released.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It did.
And people are upset.
Oh, about the new game plus thing.
Yes, besides the Yang Ye situation, people are
Yeah.
upset because you have to buy New Game Plus. And it kind of reminded me when you were talking about buying the big boy editions of games, because that's what I did with this. So I have the New Game Plus, but if you bought the base edition, you would have to pay extra money, $15, I think it is, for New Game Plus, which is a little ridiculous, Sega. Come on.
Yeah, it is. It is a little ridiculous. Also, it's like I have not played many new game pluses, but I can see why people would be mad. I totally get it. Totally get it. It is kind of
Yeah, that's
just another
one
thing.
thing
There's
you
another
don't
thing.
paywall.
That's what you're these single player games. They're going to learn from Sega, and they're going to be like, "Oh, this is a great idea." Now the single player games, they're going, yeah, totally.
And they're going to falsely sell this idea that look how many New Game Pluses we sold, because there's people like me that bought the Ultimate Edition.
Right.
That
Before they
includes
even
that.
know-
So
yeah, totally. Yeah.
they'll have the numbers showing that, yeah,
It
we could
works.
sell New Game Plus modes in all these games.
Gaming sucks now.
It does. But I'm not a New Game Pluser either.
No, not really. I think I did it for maybe Spider-Man or something, but like most of these games are too damn long to play New Game Plus.
Yeah, and I think this Like a Dragon game is supposed to be really long.
Yeah,
so.
right. I think yeah. What did I hear? Like 70 hours or something like that.
Something crazy like that, because I'm still, well, we could just get into what you're playing, because Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon is one of the games that I've been playing.
I don't think I've played much more of that. Really, mostly all I played really was Palworld. I did play a little bit more Yakuza Like a Dragon. I did get to the part where he starts hallucinating, and it is pretty funny. And he gets the bat.
Yeah, and then suddenly he thinks he's like a hero from an RPG game.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah, it is great. But I haven't played much more of that. I did play a lot. I did play some of the Last of Us 2 remastered because I wanted to check out, because you had heard it was bad. So I had to check it out.
I heard it was bad value, not a bad game. If you liked it originally, you probably like this. Just the additive value of buying this version
For $10
wasn't there.
It's a
Well,
travesty.
that depends if you bought the game in the first place, right?
Right.
If you didn't buy it and you're just coming into it now, or when it comes to Steam and you didn't buy it before, is it worth it?
I think, well, the Left Behind or the No Return mode is really fun. I really like it. So for me, it was worth the $10. And I still haven't played the extra, the 3 lost levels with commentary or whatever. So, but for me, I could say that the No Return is worth the $10. And I started
Okay,
I
as long as
started
it's worth something to you.
I started a replay of it and slowly getting through it. It's a good Portal game.
It's not a game I'm going to be buying. I do not like those games.
And I do love the PlayStation Portal. It's a great handle.
Yeah, I love my. I've been playing Yakuza 7 on the Steam Deck, and after some tweaking, it runs fantastically.
Nice.
Yeah,
Handhelds are great.
they are.
I'm a huge fan of handhelds. But
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's really
Okay.
all I've been playing. Bro Tato is coming to PS5 next week. That's exciting.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
And it's coming to Game Pass.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a Game Pass game.
Yeah.
I'm fucking for sure buying that.
For $4.99 or whatever it is, you'd be crazy not to.
Right, yeah. It's half the price of Last of Us 2 upgrade.
I have a game that I started playing, only a little bit, but have you played Enter the Gungeon?
A little bit, not a whole lot, and I don't know why I stopped playing it. Like, I always want to go back to play it, and I have not. I've thought about buying it on Switch, and I still have not.
Have you played Binding of Isaac?
I think I may have for like a short. Was it on Game Pass before?
It might have been.
Maybe, but I don't really recall it. I don't think I did.
Or that might have been one of the
I don't
games-
think I did actually.
Remember when I brought my laptop over to your house and I had a couple games on there? That might have been one of the games I had on there that we played.
Maybe. But
Along with
I've
Towerfall.
wanted to play that too. They're both roguelites, right?
Yes. So I started playing a game on my Steam Deck called Cult of the Lamb.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I only got a couple hours into it, but it's a lot of fun.
It's a roguelite.
It's a roguelite and city builder.
Oh, nice.
And you lead a cult. So you've got to build a city, keep your cult members happy, and then you go into this dungeon, like Enter the Gungeon, for Well, it's where you recruit new followers, and you also get materials to build out your ever expanding cult, and you get new abilities, and it's roguelite, or is light,
Light or like?
because
I always
you
get them mixed up.
I get those confused too. You get
Yeah.
stronger. You don't start from zero every time you die, so you
Oh,
get
okay. So
stronger,
is that a
and you
light?
go back in stronger. I think that's light.
Okay. And a like is just you. Is it just skill basically?
It might be. You know what? We'll have to, because the original game that started all was Rogue, right? That's why they're called Rogue Likes and Rogue Lights.
Okay.
Well, we'll figure this out, and we'll let everybody know next episode if you don't know for sure.
Right.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's got really cute characters doing horrible things to other cute characters, and I'm digging it. I'm gonna play some more of it.
You should make a
Did you have
Pokemon roguelite. Somebody should do
yeah,
that.
Cult of the Pokemon, where you sacrifice Pokemon to the Pokegods. Did you play anything else? Because if not, I've got one more game.
I don't think really that I did. No, I did play some Fortnite with my kid in his room, my 5-year-old actually, on my Portal while he played on the PS5. That was fun.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good use for the Portal.
Yeah, so it's like almost like we're having a sleepover almost.
And you could
It
also
ran
screen
fine.
feed on
It
him.
ran fine. Totally, it ran awesome because he's 5, so he doesn't know what, he can't read and doesn't know what buttons to hit. So like, he was playing in my older son's room, and so like we were gonna do it on the headphones, but I'm like, I'll have to run up there and every time we start a match or whatever and help him. So I'm like, I'll just bring the Portal up there, and so yeah, that's a good use for it.
Hell yeah, it is. You still haven't sold me on a Portal, but
Like, you don't need one. You could get Chiaki or whatever and use that on the Steam Deck. Really, there's zero reason for you to get one.
true. Plus, I also have tons of other portable devices. I don't need a
Yeah.
Portal.
I rarely need mine, really. I lately I've been going to bed probably like 3 times this week, going to bed at like earlier, like an hour and a half earlier than I normally do, and I'm like, I'm gonna play some games. So I bring I got both cases, my Switch and my Portal, bring them both up there. Then I look at my phone for like an hour and a half and go to bed. Don't touch either one of them.
That's funny because I've been doing the exact same thing with my Steam Deck and my Switch, and like, actually, one of the games I've been playing, I'm working on a new Super Mario Maker level.
Oh, I'm excited. You have to get this thing done because I want to try it.
I'm trying.
Okay.
It's hard because I need the ideas first, and I have one formulated in my head, but getting it to work the way I want it to work is the hard part. Because I don't make cheap levels.
No.
That you can't win unless you find the secret block or anything like that. And I like to make them challenging, but I also like my levels to be fast paced.
The problem with Mario Maker now is everybody makes what are called Kaizo levels.
Yeah, you could kind of put mine under that, but I don't put in the cheap blocks where you jump up and you hit an invisible block and then you fall to your death, right? That's in a lot of those Kaizo levels,
right?
And that's kind of
I just don't like. I hate where it's like, oh, you got to jump and catch this, and then do this, and then it's just like, those aren't like my favorite levels.
How would you grade my levels?
They're not like the expert Kaizo levels that you see. So like they're hard, they're challenging, but
yes, I try to have a single gimmick surrounding my levels.
Yeah.
And if you had a Discord, I would post them in your Discord. I'm posting them in my Discord.
Okay, that's fine. I will definitely hop in there and check it out when it is ready.
Yeah, you probably got to give me another week to have it done.
Okay, that's fine.
This is fair. A process.
That's fair.
But I'm getting into it, so we could expect more levels out of me, hopefully in the future.
Good. I'm going on vacation in another week and like 2 days, so that way hopefully it's done by then.
Yeah, I got to get it done by then, so that way you could just be cussing.
Take it out with me.
Your wife is like, "What the hell's wrong with you? Why are you just swearing at your Switch all day long?"
Right. Download it and take it with me. So I have plenty of time to beat it then.
The final game I've been playing, and it's kind of out of necessity, and it's kind of pushing everything else I've been playing to the background, is it's funny that you talked about The Crew, the one you bought, because I've been playing The Crew on Steam. The original Crew. Because
you do this to me and yourself.
Well, in 2 months I'll never be able to play it again.
But that's not a bad. That's a good thing.
No, the game's not terrible. It does have bad driving physics.
You're like having FOMO about a not terrible game going away, so you got to play it and suffer through it.
Well, it has a story mode, right? So I'm playing through the story mode. I'm not going to try to 100% the game. There are no Steam achievements, so there's no reason for going for anything like that. I just want to complete the game, finish the story, and then take a screenshot of the last page. So when I'm old and decrepit and can't remember anything, I can look back on my Steam account and be like, yeah, I beat the crew. That game that doesn't exist anymore. It's going away, and it doesn't need to, and it's kind of upsetting.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't need to be online all the time. Fucking Ubisoft, man.
I'm telling
And
you.
it's kind of fun jumping in the game and driving from New York all the way to San Francisco and then back to Chicago. So, yeah, that's the final game I've been playing. But I should be able to beat the crew this weekend because I've only got like 5 more missions to go on the terrible story.
Oh, excellent. That's great
Yeah.
news.
Yeah. And then I'll be able to finish like a Dragon, Yakuza 7, so I can play the new Like a Dragon.
Do you
And do I what?
do you have any Rebel recommends for the week?
Cult of the Lamb.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right. That's a Rebel recommends for the week, and that is going to be a show for the week. We're going to go eat some pizza.
A really good show.
Yeah, great show.
Go eat some pizza.
Some would say a great show, yeah. All right, everybody.
Hey.
We'll see you next week. And I think we'll probably end up taking a week break while I'm on vacation.
Yeah, give me chance to get caught up on all these games.
And you'll have to. I'll be out of the loop because I'll be on a boat, so I won't have any gaming news for the week. So you have to catch me up.
Oh, I got to make my level so difficult that way when you're playing on the
I'm
boat,
just
you
throw it
chuck your switch.
off of the ocean. Oh man! All right, everyone. I am Fusion64, and you are
Rebel Blood 80.
And we will see you guys next week for the FusionCast. Good night.
Same bat time, same bat. Well, we're not doing that.
Same bat asshole.